as you can probably tell, not everything is going strictly to plan. That above me is, well, that's the crank exposed, and that is the oil pan with, well, you've got the guard there and the oil pickup just by there. Let me explain. Welcome back to Break It Till You Make It.
Next is my beloved Mark IV Golf Estate 1.8 Turbo, and it's awesome. I bought a Volkswagen Beetle, classic Volkswagen Beetle, the cheapest of its kind on the internet. I'm holding the wheel. I don't think I've ever bought an insane wagon.
Oh, this is epic.
As close as I've got to where I would love to buy one, they've got further away.
Yeah. I can even fit inside fairly easily.
Oh my god.
So yes, I am lying underneath my SHITBOX to SHOWCAR project car, the Audi TT Mark 1. Now, I bought this car to turn it into a show car with a very finite budget of £2.5 grand. Now, I've used quite a bit of that budget already on buying the car and buying the first modifications. Now, hopefully, I will get on to fitting those later on today. But let me first explain, well, what's going on here? Why am I lying underneath the front end of the car? If you're not familiar with the series so far, then click on the link above me now and you can check out the previous videos that are on this project. As you can see, this isn't normally how the bottom end of the engine should look. The oil pan is on the floor and the crankcase internals are exposed. What happened? Just after I bought the car, I drove it home and it was all hunky-dory and it was all fine. I was using it for my daily driver. And then, well, the oil light came on. Normally, that means that the oil level is low, so automatically I pulled over, let the engine cool down, and
then the oil light came on and it was orange. Now, generally on all cars, orange light is not as catastrophic as red light, basically. So the orange light came on, I thought, right, I need to fill up with oil. So I bought some oil, I poured more oil in, and at that point, I had, unbeknown to me, overfilled it by mistake, like an idiot. Then, after that, the red oil light came on. I'd been driving around for another day, possibly. The red oil light came on, which is catastrophic. So I thought, right, that's not good. I pulled over immediately, thinking, oh my god, has a head gasket gone? Bearing in mind, this car is on 205,000 miles nearly, so it probably hasn't had a service very recently. I've got no service history. As I said in the previous video, if you haven't watched that, then you can click on the pop-up banner above me now. So then, after I pulled over, I let the car cool down for a little bit, dipped the oil, and it was very, very full. So I thought, well, that's a bit strange. Maybe the oil pressure sensor is faulty, which would have been fairly good news in the situation. Now, that is still a possibility, but I think what's happened, from doing a bit of reading, I think that the oil has been filled up to a point where the crank is picking up the oil and is foaming, in which case the oil pickup is struggling to pick up any oil. So it's effectively, the engine's been running with not very much lubrication because the oil hasn't been picked up by the pickup tube to take it around the engine. So that's what I'm going to do today, figure out what's actually going on. I'm just going to crack on and see how far I get. Hopefully I find some good news.
which leads me to where I am now. The car is on 205,000 miles, so I didn't want to completely ruin the engine if anything drastic had gone wrong. Here is the oil pickup tube. A very common problem on these 1.8 turbo engines is this tube gets blocked inside. Now, they're not that expensive to replace, but I thought I'd take it apart myself and we'll have a look to see if it is in fact blocked. Now, you can see in the very end of the tube there is loads and loads of crap just in the end, and that probably was causing the oil pressure warning light to come on, because the oil wasn't being sucked up through the pickup into the engine, and that means that there wasn't any or enough oil circulating around all the internals to make it happy, and obviously the engine as a result was very sad.
Bad news.
Oh no. Anyway,
I've taken the oil sump off. I need to give it a clean and order a new pickup, and then hopefully, when this all back together, I can put in the oil. Hopefully, by driving it with little oil circulation, I haven't completely ruined the engine, and hopefully it'll be good to go. Instead of fitting the new sump, cleaning it out, which I will be doing, and there will be a video on that very soon, I've been looking at the first modification that I want to do to this car, and well, it kind of tends to be the first mod that I do to any car that I have, and that's wheels. Now, I have done a video before where I put some Porsche wheels on the Golf, and that didn't really go terribly well. Those Porsche wheels are actually here in the corner. Now, I really like those wheels. They're from a 924, I believe, and they look awesome. I can't possibly bring myself to sell them or get rid of them, because the amount of cars that I probably will buy in the near future, they're bound to fit something that I buy. I mean, it sounds a bit ridiculous, but it might even be the case that I buy a car specifically to fit the wheels, which is a bit ridiculous, but then, I don't know, I'm a car guy and I can't help it. Anyway, I'm procrastinating. I need to get this garage tidied up a little bit. Well, I've just put the oil sump from underneath the car into my Golf so I can take it home and clean it properly and thoroughly. Then hopefully, in a future video, I can whack it back up on the car and fill up the oil, and hopefully the engine will be running fine. The MOT has been booked for a week after next, so hopefully I can get it all done by then. I mean, that's plenty of time, so it should all be good. Famous last words. Anyway, I need to tidy up the garage, as I said, and then, well, I'll show you these wheels that I've got. They're awesome. They are, actually. I mean, these. You can probably tell what these are. They are going to be going, well, these particular ones are going to be going on the back of the Golf soon. Yeah, right on the Golf. Stay tuned for a future video. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. Right then, I've tidied up a little bit. There's not much carnage. It's a bit neater now. I'm looking forward to this. Putting these new wheels that I bought onto the Audi, dropping it down off the axle stands and seeing how good they look. Here we are then. Here's the scary bit. Taking the car off the axle stands. Now, I always get a bit apprehensive about taking the car off axle stands when the car's up, well, quite high, because the car just ends up at all sorts of angles. But anyway, we've got this decent beefy jack that will be more than capable of sorting all this, so nothing else to it but to crack on. And there we are, down off the ramp, off the axle stands. I can put those to one side. I'll be putting this car back up on the axle stand once I get the oil sump all cleaned up and all the bolts and everything are spick and span, ready to go back on the car, nice and clean. It does look like these wheels don't have locking wheel nuts. And also, 4 of the bolts are pretty rusty and 1 of the bolts is quite shiny. And that's the same for all 4 wheels. So I suspect what's happened is that someone has lost the locking wheel nut and had to cut it off somehow, and they've replaced the locking wheel nut with another bolt that matches the other 4, which makes things easier for me because I don't have to fiddle around looking for a locking wheel nut. Anyway, enough waffle. Let's get these wheels off. So I've cracked all the wheel nuts, now I can lift the car back up on the jack just so the front wheel is off the ground, and then I should be able to undo the bolts pretty easily. So now I've got to fit the adapter that goes on the hub to adapt the PCD from 5x120 to 5x100. That gives you a big clue as to what these wheels are from. In fact, I may as well just show you which wheels they are. I'm super excited to see it on the actual car. So there's the hub, there is the old Audi wheel, and then just here we can see the Porsche 928 wheels in all their glory. I mean, look at how lovely and vintage they look. I reckon they'll suit this car really, really well. And, well, I'm waffling again. I'm just going to get them on the car. Here we have the adapters, which I used on the Golf because this is the same PCD as the Golf. Now PCD, I don't know exactly what it stands for, but it basically tells you what size and distance the bolt pattern is on the actual hub. So you know if you've got a 5x120mm PCD, then you know that you need to get 5x120 wheels. Now I've got some wheels that are 5x100 as I said, therefore I need an adapter plate that changes the hub pattern from 5x120 to 5x100, and that's what these are in this box. As you can see here, it comes with these bolts, and I believe the hub adapter, well, it looks like this, it's about 20mm thick, which means there's not quite enough room for the original bolts from the hub to go into the plate to screw this onto the hub. So it comes with these bolts, and these are the ones that you use to attach this adapter to the hub, and then the wheel screws into these threaded holes in here. There we are. Now I've got the hub adapter on, I can get these wheels on. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Ah, this is so exciting. Look how good they look already. Oh my gosh, these wheels, they really, really suit the car more than I thought they possibly could. I mean, take a look. Look at these wheels. When that gap, it definitely doesn't pass the shoe test. Let me demonstrate now. That does not pass the shoe test. I can easily get my shoe in there. That's not good. We'll be sorting that out soon with another mod. I have had to put some air in these tyres because, well, they have obviously been sat around in the guy's garage for a while. Now, actually, I'll overlay some shots of the garage where I got them. He had two lovely 948s, I think, or 928s. Maybe one was 928 and 944, or some kind of combination of front engine Porsche. And these wheels were sat at the back of his garage, and, well, I had to have them. These wheels do just suit the car so well, and you can see once all the wheels are on, it'll look incredible. Now, I'm not going to put the wheels on now because, well, truthfully, I think I'm going to have to get new tyres for this set, because I have just had to put some air in this tyre and I don't think it's holding. It's already gone down quite a bit. Once that gap is gone and that arch comes over the wheel a little bit, it's going to look absolutely incredible. That brings me on to how much I paid for these wheels, because obviously the important factor of this whole project is SHITBOX to SHOWCAR for less than 2.5k, £2,500. The car cost me £800, which leaves me with 1,700, and then these wheels cost me £600, which was kind of a bit more than I wanted to spend on wheels, but then that leaves me with £1,100 to spend on the rest of the car, on mods for the rest of the car. What next? What shall I do? I need some help. I need some answers in the comments. What shall I do next to this car? I've got some ideas, like I think coilovers is quite an important one to get rid of that gap. But what else? Exhaust? Maybe wrap even? I don't know whether I'll be able to manage a wrap. But talking of wraps, I think that is a wrap on this video. Now, if you've enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like button down below. Don't forget to hit subscribe. Don't forget to check out the other videos in this series and stay tuned for the future videos in this series to come. I need to go and sort out the tyres on this car. I need to put the other wheels back on, and I need to also go home and clean out that sump for a video coming very soon on the channel. Anyway, that's me signing off. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it, subscribe if you haven't already, as I already said, and I'll catch you in the next one.